Don't miss any content. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell.
Welcome back to the channel. As usual, I am your host Sellssi. So we're going to talk about something quite interesting, which is the Afcon 2022 qualifiers. My thoughts on the qualifiers in general, the latest on the front between Benin and Sierra Leone, and South Africa sacking their coach Molefi in Turkey after failing to qualify them to Afcon 2022. As usual, subscribe if you haven't, click on the notification bell to get more updates. So the Afcon 2022 qualifiers are over. We know the 23 teams that are going into Afcon, and it's quite an interesting time to predict who will be the winners of the tournament eventually. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're just going to analyze some of the teams that have made it and see their chances of making it further or possibly winning the competition. But let me first hit on South Africa's sacking of Molefi in Turkey. Now, Molefi in Turkey was in charge of the South Africa Bafana national team, and they had an already arduous task of qualifying for Afcon 2022. You would have thought that with Sudan, Sao Tome and Principe, and Ghana, at least South Africa would be able to finish second. But you have to admire the toughness and hard-working nature of the Sudanese side, who did not begin their campaign quite well. They fought really hard and were able to get themselves in a position where playing South Africa in their final game and winning by 3 points would take them to AFCON 2022. The South Africans didn't begin their campaign well, and they only have themselves to blame. They lost to Ghana 2-0, and everyone would have expected that. But their subsequent games, which they played well, they garnered 9 points, and it was them in pole position versus Ghana in match day 5. Match day 5, I have to say, versus Ghana, they could have easily won that game. They were the better side in the first half, had the most ball possession, had the most chances, and they should have won, but they did not. Ghana's team were clinical. At their first clear chance, they were able to score, and South Africa responded, but could not respond further, and it was late for them to win that game. Molefi in Turkey, owing to that run, had to play Sudan last, and a draw would have been enough for them to qualify. Unfortunately, Sudan were more hungrier than South Africa, and owing to that, Molefi in Turkey has lost the national team job. Could he have done better? Yes, obviously. Is he totally to blame for the results? Well, that would be harsh, because it is a team sport and the team plays to the coach's instructions, as some people say, but it's not always the coach's fault. But this time, I think it can't be blamed on the coach, especially against Sudan, where they needed just a draw. A little bit of game management could have gotten there, but they let it all go in that final game, and Sudan, who were the more hungrier team, I have to say, when I watched that game, Sudan were amazing. They got it. Now, the South African Football Association, SAFA, has announced the dismissal of Molefi in Turkey. Now, writing was on the wall. The 51-year-old, as the Bafana suffered a surprise 2-0 defeat to Sudan Falcons of Zidane in the final 2022 AFCON qualifier on Sunday. The result saw South Africa fail to qualify for next year's tournament, which will be hosted by Cameroon, and in Turkey came under full scrutiny. The South African Football Association has now confirmed it has parted ways with the Turkey, who guided Bafana to a third place finish in Group C, with the top 2 teams, Ghana and Sudan, qualifying for the finals. This is what the statement read. SAFA have parted ways with Bafana coach Molefi in Turkey. Further updates will be provided. He has become the first Bafana coach to be dismissed after failing to qualify for the Afcon finals. The tactician was appointed in 2019 August 20th as replacement for Stuart Baxter, with the latter having resigned a few days after leading Bafana to the quarterfinals of the Afcon, beating Egypt on the way. They lost narrowly to Nigeria 2-1. Having served as assistant coach under Baxter and Sheikhs Mashaba, Nteki was tasked with leading South Africa to the 2022 AFCON and 2022 World Cup finals. However, the former South Africa under-17 head coach's contract has now been terminated. It remains to be seen who will be brought in charge of the national team, with Bafana expected to face Ghana again in the World Cup qualifiers, along with Zimbabwe and Ethiopia. The games will be played probably in May and October this year. Group G winner booked their third place in the third round after 10 winners from the second round will be drawn into 5 home and away ties. The winners from each tie will qualify for next year's World Cup, which will be hosted by Qatar. The last time Bafana took part in the World Cup was in 2010 as they were the hosts. So Molefi in Turkey has left Bafana. And let me know what you think in the comments box on that one. Quite unfortunate, but the back always ends with the manager. My next story has to do with the Benin versus Sierra Leone game. The latest coming up from that front is that Benin and Sierra Leone game will be played in the next international window. Remember that these games will be played to decide who will qualify. A draw would be enough for one, a win would be enough for the other. Now, the qualifying game reported here by Nuhu Adams on Twitter between Benin and Sierra Leone has been postponed to the next international break, which reportedly is in June. Sierra Leone require a win to secure qualification. Benin need just a draw to sail through. So the talks happened yesterday. If you didn't watch the video, it's up here. But basically, Benin were of the suspicion that their COVID test of 6 players were tampered with and had come out positive, so they did not agree with it. My thoughts are that CAF should be taking the COVID test themselves so that no country can dispute the validity, and I hope they heed to that and do exactly that. So that is why that game did not take place last night, and now it has been reported that it will take place in June at the next international break. So the international break is over and Afcon 23 teams are going. Great news for the 2 debutants who are going to this Afcon. Who can win this tournament? Well, your guess is as good as mine. Nigeria yesterday showed a scintillating display. Osimhen was involved in all 3 goals. Ghana will be confident with the likes of Kudus Mohammed, Andre Ayew, Jordan Ayew, Mubarak Wakasu and Thomas Partey in that midfield and forward. It will be a great tournament for that matter. Senegal will also be confident. Sadio Mane and also their rock at the back, Kalidou Koulibaly. Algeria, the reigning champions, still showed that they've got the groove after a nice final game as they won 5-0 with so many goals, and Riyad Mahrez, the captain, it's still anyone's guess who can win it. As with any tournament, anything can happen. Surprises can pop up, and we will keep our eyes peeled as to how the draw goes. And that is when I think I can give a concrete prediction as to who I think will win the tournament. But it's anyone's tournament, as has been shown in the past, and to call a winner now will be quite audacious. But let me know who you think can win the Afcon from these 23 teams that have already qualified. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.